You've probably heard the hymn, "It Is Well With My Soul." It's one of those songs that feels like it's been around forever, a true anthem of comfort, especially when things get tough. But what you might not know is that behind that beautiful, calming melody is a story of almost unimaginable tragedy and a faith that somehow endured it all. Today, we're diving into that story.
Everything starts with these 5 stark words, telegraphed across the Atlantic Ocean back in 1873. Just think about it. Saved alone, what shall I do? It's a message that's just dripping with shock and heartbreak. You can feel the despair right through the page. So, who sent it and what on earth had just happened?
That single question, it's the key to this entire story. What kind of disaster could possibly ring out a message so hopeless? To get to the bottom of it, we first need to meet the man who was on the receiving end of that terrible telegram.
His name was Horatio G. Spafford, and long before he wrote one of the world's most beloved hymns, he was a man who, by all accounts, had it all. He was living a life that most people would call incredibly blessed, successful, and totally secure.
I mean, this guy was a pillar of his Chicago community. He was a brilliant, successful lawyer, a major real estate investor, just crushing it professionally. But he was also a man of deep faith, a church elder, even friends with the famous evangelist D.L. Moody. And most important of all, he was a family man, a devoted husband to his wife Anna, and the proud father of 4 little girls.
But this picture of peace and prosperity, well, it was about to be completely and utterly shattered. In fact, the words he would later write in his hymn perfectly describe what was coming. Sorrows rolling in like giant ocean waves, one after the other, just this relentless series of disasters.
It's almost like his life became the hymn before he even wrote it. He went from this period of peace like a river straight into a season of sorrows like sea billows. And we're not talking about one bad day. We're talking about a complete and catastrophic upending of his entire world.
And check out how fast this all happened. First, in 1871, the Great Chicago Fire just incinerates most of his real estate investments. Poof, gone. A huge financial blow. Then 2 years later, he plans this wonderful family vacation to Europe, but some last-minute business holds him back, so he does the logical thing. He sends his wife Anna and their 4 girls on ahead. They board a steamship, the Ville du Havre. On November 22nd, that ship collides with another one and sinks in 12 minutes. Just 12 minutes. And that's when the telegram lands on his desk. Saved alone.
4. That was the number of daughters that Horatio and Anna Spafford lost that day in the freezing Atlantic. Their names were Annie, Maggie, Bessie, and Tanetta, all gone, in less time than it takes to drink a cup of coffee.
So what do you do in the face of a loss that is just completely incomprehensible? Well, Horatio immediately got on the next available ship to go to England and be with his grieving wife. And it was on that journey, a voyage right into the heart of his own pain, that something absolutely extraordinary happened.
Can you even imagine this? He's on the ship, sailing across the same ocean, when the captain calls him aside. The captain tells him that based on his charts, they are now passing over the exact spot where the Ville du Havre went down, the place that had become the grave for all 4 of his children.
And right there, in that moment of what must have been the most profound anguish a person can feel, Horatio Spafford didn't write words of anger, he didn't write about despair, he wrote this: "Whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul." Now, this isn't about pretending the pain isn't there, not at all. It's about finding a deeper, unshakable peace that somehow exists inside the storm, a peace he credited completely to his faith. So a few years go by, and those powerful words find their way to a composer named Philip Bliss. Bliss was so moved by the story behind them that he wrote the music we all know today. And in a really poignant tribute, he named the tune Ville du Havre, after the very ship that went down. And in a heartbreaking twist, Philip Bliss himself would die tragically in a train accident not long after, forever linking this hymn to stories of finding faith in the middle of tragedy.
So from this one man's intensely personal, crushing grief, a song was born. And it would go on to become a global anthem of hope for millions and millions of people. Its journey was really just beginning.
And the story doesn't end there. The Spaffords, they didn't let grief destroy them. They eventually moved to Jerusalem and founded something called the American Colony, a charitable group dedicating the rest of their lives to helping others. Meanwhile, the hymn just took on a life of its own.
It became a go-to source of comfort at funerals during times of crisis. It's been translated into tons of languages, and it offers this incredible message of hope that goes way beyond any single church or denomination.
So it really leaves us with this powerful question, doesn't it? The story of Horatio Spafford is so much more than just the backstory of a famous song. It's this incredible testament to the human spirit's ability to find meaning, even in the worst kind of suffering. It really makes you think, how can our own deepest moments of pain, against all the odds, be transformed into a source of comfort and hope for other people? It's really the ultimate expression of what it means to be able to say, even when everything is falling apart, "It is well with my soul."